Okay, so I just wanted to give you guys a quick uh, rundown of what I'm hoping to get from you for this assignment. So if you notice, right now I have the rendering of my page that I recreated. And if I go to orientation and I change it from portrait to landscape, you'll notice that the layout changed. And what changed was I no longer have the background image, and I changed the height of the nav bar. Okay, I'll change it back so that you can see again. Orientation. Go back to portrait, and you notice the nav bar is a little thinner, and again the background image is there. Now that is can be seen if I go into subscreens, and I go to changes. You can notice that there's some ternary arguments which show up in the return right here by saying, okay, if the mode is in portrait, then this whole view um, is should be in place, but otherwise null. So if it's not portrait, that's when the background image goes away, or the image background goes away, and you notice the mode is either going to be portrait, or in other cases, it's going to be where's the other thing? Or it's going to be landscape. So it's going to be one of the two based on whether the width, based on the comparison of the width and the height. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for from you. Now, I want you to make at least three changes, hopefully three changes from whatever you have in the uh, portrait to the landscape. Now, the changes should be clear what they are. Like you clearly in mind, you notice that the background image or the image background is gone. I'm hoping that you do something similar, but um, I like for you to also say in a note to me what three things you change, just so that I don't have to fish around for them. Because if I don't notice them, then I might think that you didn't make those changes. So I don't want that to happen. Um, but that's the basic idea of this. Now, I want you to know, so I'm going to share this with you. Um, and this is you're going to get this GitHub that you can check out and you can use as well. But notice in this GitHub, I've changed, which is this one right there. I can activate these other things like no change, change one, boilerplate, and boilerplate one. So I can just change this right here, and I can select any of these 5 pages, and I'll get something different. So for example, if I go from change to, or I'll go to no change, I'll change this just so that you know what you have that you can use. If I go to no change, I believe, well, actually, that's not a good one. I'm going to change this to boilerplate. So I'll change this to, just so that you know what you can take a look at. Boilerplate like that, and you notice that comes up right there. If I happen to change it to boilerplate 1, then that comes up right here. Okay, so those are things that you can look at, and then within that, if you want to look at the code for any of these things, boilerplate 1 is here, boilerplate changes for these two different ways to do it, and then no change is just as is. Okay, so some of you were asking about the background image as well. I want you to keep in mind that there's a few things going on here for the images, and that is that there's a style issue as well. Okay, so I have uh, image container for my styles right here, and then if I go to image container, you should keep in mind that it can be a little finicky based on styling and stuff. That's what I use for my image container. I know that some people had some difficulty with that, but check this repo out. This should help you. Now, the two one of you do one of these two things. You either do this one right here, or you do this one right here. It doesn't matter to me. But last week I had you do two. I just want you to do one this time. Okay, so uh, just do one of these. You should grab the image, and it should be a background image. The reason why it should be a background image is because you got to put this text over it. Likewise, or image background, I should say. It should be image background because we have text on it. I'd like you to, for as much as possible, try to make this look as it looks now. Okay, so you gotta get the image from this or from this web page, and then you gotta find a way to input it. So that's the basic idea. Again, it should look different when when you go from portrait to landscape. Okay, there should be three differences, and that's what I'm looking for. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, that's it. Just pass in your GitHub link when you're done, and also make sure you just give me a quick note to tell me what three things you've changed.